Um, what up, everybody? Good morning.
Hey,
Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy.
what's up? What's up? What's up?
Let me
What's
put
up?
that up. Bam. Make sure you sharing. Sharing is caring.
Word.
Sharing is caring. Um,
You know it's Thursday.
ah,
You see me.
right.
What's
Was it
up,
Friday
brother?
Junior? Friday Junior.
Friday Junior. Yes, sir. Let's go.
um, Rest in peace, Periscope.
Yeah, they went down last night. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
I was trying to watch it. I was getting notifications, but
Yeah.
Periscope said, "You know what? Your app is done, sir."
Yeah. I
Like,
JS Scope did a final scope last night on
wow.
Periscope, and he was broadcasting on Haps. Hey, Lisa. And so
Yeah.
I was like, I jumped in. He was like, "Hey, Derry underscore Bulls fans in the house. What's up, man?" And he
Wow.
shouted us out, the Brothers of Legacy and
Oh,
everything. It was
wow.
good, yeah.
That's nice. Yeah,
Hey,
you know.
hey, Miss Deborah. I ain't seen Miss Deborah in forever. Welcome back, lady. I don't know if you have
Welcome back. Let me put that up there. Oh, he said, "Yeah, got a notification too." Right, right.
Yeah, crazy, man.
Oh, hey, Mama Corey. Great morning to you. Hey,
Mama.
Lisa. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I've tried to watch Periscope, but nope, it's no more. Right. um. So yeah, it's crazy. Like
Are they doing
how
something
so
else?
many, huh?
Are they doing, is it Twitter Live they going to, or
I
where they?
don't know. I thought they would have gone. I thought they was gonna just switch that on once they cut off Periscope. Like they would have been ready, but maybe they're not.
Oh,
Maybe it's a little more difficult than it seemed. I don't know. I was looking it up, but it's not showing, or I don't see any notifications. I don't see nothing.
I don't see nothing either. I
Yeah.
haven't seen
And
anything
then I
either.
was like, maybe it's just for they're just testing and for certain people, but I don't see anybody doing anything on Twitter. So
Right.
other than Twitterizing.
But they tried to watch Periscope. Nope. I just took my head up. I'm trying to share it. Hey,
Hey,
Colin, what's going on?
good morning, Kalinda.
I'm trying to share it to everybody.
Hey, what's up, Miss Kathy?
That's funny. Nope.
So yeah, and it's crazy. Like, all right, shush, shush, shush. There's so much.
It's crazy though,
What you
because
call it?
I mean,
Uh,
Periscope's been around since 2016, man.
I mean, Periscope has helped a lot of people.
Yeah. A lot
Periscope
of
has
people,
helped a lot of people. I
yeah.
think I really feel like I don't know what people what crack Periscope when some of these apps are smoking. Like
I don't know.
I felt like I guess maybe they didn't realize how successful people became from Periscope.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they realize how powerful because I don't know, like I would have talked to some of these broadcasters,
Yeah.
found out, the money that they're making
Yeah.
and how can we support or support you more?
Right.
Like and then like can we create a premium space for you? Like how can we create a premium and we can share revenue? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I
Yeah.
would have did. Like, I would have went to the Ashley Ann's like, hey, yo, you killing it
Yeah.
with these numbers,
She's still doing her thing, right? I ain't
right?
seen her forever.
She's made a lot of money from Periscope.
Periscope. Yeah, that's where it all started.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, she's on Instagram, but the bulk of her money I can honestly say was made from Periscope.
Oh
You
wow.
know,
So
she went because remember you told me you was in there when she used to speak to everybody.
yeah.
She,
You should speak. Yeah.
yeah, because she didn't have as many followers. So back in the day when you're starting out, you got to speak to everybody. Hey,
Hey.
everybody say
Kind of
anything.
what we do here.
Hey, exclamation point.
Yeah.
Like
Kind of what we do here. I mean, it's
everybody.
crazy. I want to shout out some folks on Periscope that I met. Janine Cummings, Jamila Corbett. Hey, Pastor
What's
Big
up,
Bang.
Pastor? Great morning to you, sir.
I'm doing good, Rich. Thank you for asking. JS Scope, Lala Key, all these folks I met on Periscope. Pastor Walter Sims.
Right.
Who else?
Met you.
Yeah, me and AD, Pastor Greg and Michelle Mostella. Hey, all those folks I met on Periscope.
Wow.
I met on
Kalinda said Periscope meeting Dwayne, Mario, and Ruben Arana. Look at that.
Hey, Ruben. Yep.
Look at that.
Yep. So Periscope.
What's up, Rich?
Great, man. I'm telling you, that was be that jam. And I started Periscope when I was in the darkest place in my life before I met Melissa, all that. Yeah. And I was sleeping on my friend's couch because we broke up. And she was like, I don't want you in my bed no more. So
right.
And started on Periscope.
Right. Yep.
It's hard to. It's kind of bittersweet to see that app go away, but you know.
I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. Like, I don't. I mean, sometimes I'll be wondering. I mean, I guess having a server, having to store all the videos, that's not cheap.
No,
It's not
no,
cheap. But I can't see how with the response how to flip it into like average, because they could have done ads like in
yeah,
between scopes.
yeah,
Those are big scopes. They could have done ads or something,
yeah.
and share the revenue.
And,
But
and don't forget about Dupe.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she blew up on TikTok,
And she's actually part of the TikTok Creator Fund.
Uh-huh.
So she's doing it
So
big.
and she started shopping.
Yeah.
Go live while
But
she was shopping.
yeah,
It's crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy. All right. So today
yeah.
we're talking about voter manipulation.
Yeah,
Voter
being-
manipulation.
yeah,
And how we get persuaded to see things a certain way and sometimes not see the big picture. So we're going to dig into that. So this is your opportunity to share. Sharing is caring. We're at 12 minutes in, and yes, I'm gonna hit the intro. So we appreciate you guys rocking with us and hanging with us and coming with us each and every day. Every day? Every day.
every day.
So make sure you share, tag somebody, because we're going to dig into this conversation. And yes, we've been
Yeah.
talking about voting all week long. Is it me that's kind of lagging? I guess I am.
No,
Oh, it's just on my end, I guess. All right. That's it's good. As long as it looks good for you guys, I'm
right.
good. All right. So we will be right back. It said, isn't Periscope now via Twitter? I don't know what's going on. I checked it out. It's nothing there right now. So we'll see what happens. All right. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Stand back, stand down,
Oh, come on
and
now.
share.
All right.
I didn't want to catch that morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another episode. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
We back.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
So you can go live on Twitter now. I tried. I was trying to check it out, but it ain't happening yet. So we'll see. Maybe it's just my app needs to be updated. All right. So we're talking about voter manipulation, some of the tools and tactics, because as a candidate, you're trying to win an election, and then you have to employ those that are great at shaping a message that will be in your favor. So I guess it takes the voter to kind of weed through the noise, or what's directly in your face, to getting to what's reality, what's true, what actually matters. As because I think let's see, the first thing I want to kind of talk about how we are persuaded with issues. How are we persuaded with issues? One of Bush's biggest strategies, and based on what I've heard historically and even been influenced myself, was Karl Rove. If you don't know what that is, Google him.
Karl Rove. Okay. Sounds familiar.
He was one of the bigger campaign strategists that basically had placed one big issue over Bush to help folks decide, and that was either you're for abortion or you're against it. And he used Bush. He was like the poster child for anti-abortion. And kind of put you in that moral space where it's like, oh, the good and evil kind of moment. And that was one of his biggest strategies to win, other than the Florida situation. That's up in the air. But let's see. So yeah, so using one main issue to get you focused on the good and bad, make you feel like, oh, I'm for abortion if I don't vote for Bush, So that was one of the big strategies. But if you have to dig into more than just one issue, you have to dig into you know, what policies are they trying to set, or what's the agenda for this particular administration? Because if they can pigeonhole you into one issue, then they'll get you to choose the candidate that they want you to choose. So I think you just have to be broad with the people you choose, the policies that's selected. But the first thing is, are we persuaded with issues? Like, and I've heard, as well as I was kind of a victim of being persuaded based on this one issue. Would you say that's a fact, Pastor? And good morning, if I hadn't said it. And my podcast people appreciate you guys rocking with us as well.
So what specifically is the question?
Do you feel like we were persuaded with a particular issue? Kind of even with Trump, to build the wall, keep the immigrants out. I'm tough on immigrants, and that one issue becomes the forefront of you making your decision.
Yeah, I still think it's really about knowing your candidate.
Right.
If you understand the candidate and the history of the candidate, everyone has a resume, and I don't think people pay enough attention to the resume of an individual. See, if you understand the resume, you can weed through the rhetoric. Is what I like to say. You can't get me with a commercial.
Right.
There has to be real testimony about the product, and so I think it's important to really understand the candidate. And for those new candidates, we now have information. You can do research and find out what people's history has been, what they really stand for.
Right.
I liken it to. I was just having this conversation with my mom the other day, that when I go to minister, if I'm preaching in a different church or a new church or something like that, and I take my family with me, people are going to hear the words that are coming out of my mouth, but there's going to be somebody out there that's not just listening to me. They're going to be listening to me, and they're going to be watching my family. Right. So people want to know the whole, I think it's important to know the whole person, the whole candidate. And when you can't do that, I think it's important to do the research. So I think a lot of people are influenced by catchphrases, the commercialism of politics.
Oh, man. Yes, indeed.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
And I think that's what's wrong today.
Right.
But personally, no, if it's an issue that I can connect with, right.
Yes.
Then I still have to ask myself, can I connect with the candidate? Because I believe that there's a potential that there's another candidate that believes the same thing. So there may be an option there. Now, if I have to settle, if no one else is on that issue, then I have to count and tabulate all the other issues. What else does this candidate believe in that I agree with? So it's a broad. Hey, Auntie, how you doing this morning? It's really broad, and it's always going to be deeper for me because some of us have paid more attention than others. But if you live life on the surface, you're going to be persuaded by the catch line, the tag.
Right. The tag.
Right.
Yeah. That was me. I was on the surface, like the pastor's point. I never researched a candidate, especially when I started voting. When I turned 18, 19. It was always who had the hottest tagline.
Right.
And that's what my vote went to,
Right.
In my small community where I came from, where I was born and raised, we didn't have that because we were so small in my community that everybody figured they knew everybody anyway. So no matter who ran,
I know that. You get the vote because you know.
But on the surface, though, it was just the biggest tag. Whoever had the best tagline.
Right. Right. I think definitely. I'll say at least back in the days, the 90s, researching can be challenging, because there was no Google, there was no off the non-mainstream information, other people and other conversations being had. And sometimes it's a little more difficult to really know some candidates. Hiding information was easier. You kept it from reporters, it's a little more easier. And then you had the Bill Clintons who did the nightly talk show round, and you're thinking, wow, that dude is cool. he's so
right.
So,
you want a cool dude in the White House?
He's so relatable.
And he played the saxophone.
Right. I'm just, you felt like, yo, that dude, I relate to him so I feel like he think like me, and that's what you begin to feel, but realizing even unrelatable people could have policies that help your community.
Right.
Unrelatable people can do things that will help, legacy wise and your family and things of that nature. They may not be the same or even look like you, but
Right.
they can still have agendas that can help your community.
That's right.
Because they know what's right and what's wrong. They could make decisions that are based on, like I said, what's right and what's wrong.
Right.
Or what's more helpful, because there's not sometimes raising taxes is not a favorable thing.
No.
But it can't, I don't know if you can categorize right or wrong, because sometimes it just needs to happen, unfortunately. Or even lowering, and then that could be wrong, because it could be affecting the economy, affecting your local community, and services get affected and things of that nature. But I digress from that. So being persuaded with issues, has happened, can happen. We just, like you said, have to dig past the surface and the catchphrases and the catch lines. Yeah. And, we are, especially as Black people, we love a good catch line, because sometimes you just can't front. Even watching a politician you may not even like, oh, that was good. Even when you're on the Senate floor saying stuff, you're like, oh, I can't stand you. But that was
I'm a preacher, and I used to shout, all I do is win, 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 no matter what.
That's it.
Right.
Tag
right.
You know what I mean?
People be like, well, he's a prideful pastor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What's wrong with being victorious?
Right. Exactly. Right.
But it's a catchphrase.
Exactly. So moving to the next one I want to kind of talk about, and Pastor, you mentioned why the political, I meant to put world, would rather have us focus on people instead of policy. People instead of policy. I'm gonna just switch that up a little bit.
That's a distraction, ain't it? Because if I have you looking at somebody that that has that look or that catchphrase, that tagline we was talking about, and if I can lure you in with that, then policy. Who cares about their policy? If you caught me with looks and taglines and all that, I don't care about your policy. That's what a lot of people are like that. Like, you catch me,
right?
That was me.
I'm trying to read that too. It's a lot.
Yeah, Sierra, but she drops it. She has invited. She wanted us to invite her on the show.
Gotcha. He said, yeah, definitely can be a distraction. So let me ask you this then. So if there's a policy that is to be voted on, let's just going back to the the election or voter policy that was voted on in Georgia, that doesn't seem the most favorable based on what we've heard, what we've seen. If you know of a candidate that has voted for it, would you never vote for that candidate again based on this one policy? And let's just say he or she has voted on, like, the health reform, the PPP loans, the things that are the stimulus, the things that are favorable for us in our community, but has voted for this particular bill. Do we toss them out, or do we give them another shot?
Well, how do you feel about a great example is how do you feel about the GOP representatives, the Republicans, that are now promoting the components of the latest Biden, Lord help me, the stimulus package.
Okay.
There was not a single Republican vote in favor of the stimulus package.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
But Republicans are now promoting elements of the package that positively impact their constituents.
Right. But none of them voted for it.
But not a single person voted for the package.
Right.
For the the stimulus bill. right? So what is your feeling about Republicans who are promoting components that benefit their constituents? You know, the money that's being poured into certain businesses and programs that they're going to benefit from in their environments, in their districts or whatever, but you did not vote for the bill.
Right.
So you want to talk about voter manipulation.
Yeah.
Right. And so the question is, can you support the bill even though you disagree with components of it?
Right.
Yeah. That almost sounds oxymoronic. It doesn't it? It's like,
well, no. Well, here's an example. We all three of us are married.
mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
And you know, you're a truck driver and you're never home. And your wife's complaint is, I don't agree with what you do for a living. But I'm sure glad my bills are paid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
What do you? So do you divorce? Is your wife going to divorce you because you're never home?
Right. That's good.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's good.
That makes you think about it.
That's good. Because I mean,
so my question. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I think it's hypocritical. I personally believe that in politics, I believe it's hypocritical that you would completely vote against the bill, right? The entire party votes against the bill, and yet you promote the components that benefit your constituents.
Right.
I think it's hypocritical.
Yeah, it is. I agree with that.
I think that you support the bill,
right,
and you preach against the things that you don't agree with.
Right.
But because there are certain elements of the bill that are going to benefit, you have to support it because you can't deny that there's going to be benefits. You know, you write, I've added this component. I want to promote the fact that I added this component. I do not agree with this, but if I don't support the bill, the parts that I want won't happen.
Right.
That's okay. And I think your constituents will understand that. But when you completely
disregard a bill,
vote against the entire package, and then go back to your district or to your state or to your city and say, here, look what we have.
Right.
You're a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, indeed.
And you're manipulating the voters.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Can I drop a bomb on that, AD?
Go ahead, drop a bomb on that. And then Dwayne Goodson in the building. Great morning to you, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen.
I love Jesus, but I got to hit this lick real quick.
Right.
You can't have both ways.
In Jesus' name. Crazy, man. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
I mean, I think many ticks, bloodsuckers, it's the nature of the beast. I believe that's why when Pastor Brian says that he doesn't believe that politicians and preachers should be one and the same, I understand it because there's some gray area that you gotta dwell in. If you're a politician, that's the truth of the matter is there's gonna be gray area that you just have to dwell in. Right. And not everybody, it's not a good fit for everybody. Some people do it also natural, but others, it's not a good fit. So yeah, it's murky water going in.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with my moral code.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with the moral code of most politicians.
Yeah.
And that's why I struggle with men of the cloth or women of the cloth getting into politics. Because you have to jeopardize your moral code to be a politician. Period. You have to jeopardize your moral code to be a lawyer.
Yeah. Sure do. Or a defense attorney anyway.
I know you killed him.
Well, I got to defend you.
Because of this technicality, I'm going to get you off.
Right.
Because that's my job.
Maybe. Check your mic, Pastor. Someone's just trying to.
You guys can hear me?
We can hear you. No, we can hear you. Just tap on your mic real quick. Tap your mic. Yeah, it's not on. Good job, Alan.
He did. Good job, buddy.
Because I heard it too. I was listening like, you know what, he might be right about that. So Ms. Smith says the problem is they are in after we vote one time. Politicians
while they wait.
Always
testing. Is that better?
That's better. That's more better. Politicians always lie their way in and flip. Is that true? Do you feel that way?
I'm not gonna say always.
Say that again. Say it again.
So let me put this up here. Wait, here we go. Said the problem is they are in after we vote one time. Politicians always lie the way in and flip. Always.
I ain't gonna say.
I won't say always. Always is pretty strong and absolute. I don't think we're comfortable with the percentages.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I ain't comfortable with that at all. But
yeah, because I mean it's all a part of politicking. You know, politicking is folly at best.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Let me try and influence you as much as I can, and we'll fix it on the back end.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Talk about finessing people. That's exactly what that's the epitome of that definition of finesse.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so I get what you're saying, Pastor, about the compromise. You're right. There's this compromising moments for the long term goal. You know, you got if I'm in let's throw it out there. If I'm in Warnock's spot, you know, like we got this awesome bill that's going to be great and help and change and do something. And then Mitch comes knocking at the door like, hey, I can make this happen. you know.
I can't I'm with
here's how the game works.
I hear you, Sister Smith. I got you.
Background.
I too have that button.
I don't even know if I'm trying to be funny or if I'm missing it or I'm getting it and y'all missing it. I don't know if y'all. I don't know because I think of follies and I'm thinking something completely different. So I'm
don't break it down, brother. It's all good.
So, no. You don't want to go where Dwayne is this morning.
See, when I start,
let me make this very clear. The Bible considers preaching folly.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
So, and that's why I say politicking it is in the same category as folly. You know, say what you need to draw them in.
Right.
That's why I tell people, you know, there's life after the benediction. You can't stay saved off the preaching, off the sermon.
Right.
You got to get the Bible study. You got to get to Sunday school because preaching is folly. Preaching is to capture you, to hold traffic up. As a pastor, my job is and I heard this. I got this from Dallas Wilson. I love it. He said this about 10 years ago, 12 years ago. My job as a preacher is to hold up traffic long enough in your life so that you can cross over to the cross.
Right.
That's what it is.
Both of you guys, y'all did what y'all supposed to do. Y'all, I was talking about that.
It's a club name.
and that's why I was like, that's funny, but I don't know if I didn't want to go there, but yeah, okay, we good now. We good.
I mean, but we go back. I mean, that's the reason for the slogans, the taglines. Yeah. You know, we know like Barack Obama is a great orator. He's a great speaker. Like he dropped lines. He's like, that was good.
Right.
He's from Chicago, man.
Right. Yeah. Representing.
That's our time finesse, baby.
But then, you know, and then on the kind of like the flip, you know, you got the Trumps who knows how to trigger. You know, he's the master triggerer. You know,
shock radio.
Right. He just says whatever that will get you.
Just grab him by the
right. And so it's yeah. I mean, but like I said, it triggered and like and like a lot of people would blame the media for him making it through the primary because he got so much free press. You know, like people were trying to ignore him.
He did it in a Weird Al Yankovic way.
Right. Yeah, he did.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. So it's his
that whole following crazy. That whole cult is crazy over there.
He didn't change the game. He's captivating people for my own purposes.
I don't know how to pronounce her name. Sayuri.
Right. Sayuri. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I had her on the podcast a couple weeks
Absolutely.
ago. She's awesome.
Wow. Awesome. So yeah, it's so people versus policy. you should be focusing on what would you say is more important? Is there a more important policy or people, or is it trying to find a balance?
When you ask this question, are you talking about the individual voters or the results of the people who the policy is going to affect?
I'm gonna say the results.
Yeah, but remember that the outcome of a thing is based on the complexity of the goal.
I love
the process.
Right.
Let me say that one more time, because when you talk about the results, sometimes the results can happen in 6 months, but sometimes the impact doesn't happen for years.
Right.
When you think about, topics like Social Security, right, taxation, all of those things, those are generational impacting things. You can institute a policy today that has a positive impact in 10 years or 20 years.
Right.
So some of us won't be in office to see or benefit from the impact.
Right.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
But you have to measure, how it's trending. Are we trending in the right direction?
Right.
Is this policy going to improve in the long term? So you have to consider what's a short-term goal and a long-term goal, and find out where you fit in. Right. What are you looking for today, and what are you looking for tomorrow, and how? And so when you look at the people versus policy, I do say that it's a blend. You have to find a balance, because for me, high moral character, high moral code is critical in politics. The problem is you have to play the game, or you'll never make it into the building. You'll never make it to the table. That's reality. And so what happens to a lot of politicians is they play the game, they get in too deep, and they become the game. That's the problem that we get with politics. And now it's the forever excuse. Well, in order to do this, I got to give up this. Yeah, you're always going to have to sacrifice something. But if I've got to sacrifice my leg to fix my fingernail, bye fingernail.
Yes,
right. No doubt. Oh,
it's like the side effect of all these medicines that some of y'all take. You just got a little bit of high blood pressure.
Oh man!
And instead of you stop eating so much fried foods, and put down those meals with a whole lot of fat in it, you don't want to change out your smoked ham hocks for some smoked turkey. You don't want to do that, but you take the pills. But the pills say, we're gonna normalize your blood pressure. Also may cause and you taking it, and that's what this is. Some of us are taking the pill.
Depression. But I also think that politicians are victims of the pit, the mulch, right? That swamp that they fall victim to, because they don't really count up the cost. Right. Of being in that office, and they realize, a campaign speech is not going to get this fixed. Nope. I have got to figure out how to work with these people.
Yeah.
But I love Popeyes. Oh man. Oh,
that's the reality. You can
inspiring limitation.
I think I agree with you, Pastor. I know, like, there's the excitement of it. There's the change that they want to make. And then I'm sure about a month in, you're like, man, then you realize why it's so difficult to get anything done here. Like the people you got to deal with, the people that are, and she said,
how dark was Barack Obama's hair day one versus after 8 years?
That he left office. Yeah.
I mean, it's challenging.
And that's happened for the last 5 presidents.
Right.
You can look at day one. Right. And look at their last day and realize the toll that being a president takes on an individual.
Right.
Yeah. Could it be that their gaffe is gone? Could it be that their gaffe is, and I use gaffe loosely. I'm not going to spell the acronym out, but it's their give a freak. Yeah. Is it that some of them just care more than others, or is it just, I cannot take this. This is too much.
But so keep this in mind. There's no way you can get there without passion.
Sure.
See, passion has drawing power. Passion sells. Right. And if Trump's passion is a very passionate individual.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
But the problem is his passion. He's passionate about himself.
Right.
Yeah.
And he'll do whatever he needs to do for his next level, not for you, the collective next level, for his next level. And that passion tricked a lot of people.
Right.
But again, passion is also stressful, right? Because your passion has to outlast your opposition, and that's not easy sometimes.
Right.
You know, going against the grain. That's just a fact. You know, I don't care what anybody says. Trump was stressing with his name in the news as much as it was in the news.
Yeah.
That's why he couldn't get off Twitter.
Right.
He had forever defending himself.
Him. Yeah, it bothered him.
Wait a minute. AD said what?
Oh, it bothered him.
Yeah.
I mean, he would watch,
Solomon Temple.
He would try to watch Fox to calm his nerves, but then Fox started attacking it and he couldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
he couldn't take his first, if you look back, like when he first got elected, you know, he's the president. You call a president call into a station, they're gonna give you some time. This dude went rambling on and on and on Fox. Like they stopped, they couldn't even let him call again, you know, because it was like, yo,
Kevin Durant had to go get a burner phone.
Right.
A burner.
Well, so just so I'm hearing this right, I just want to make sure I'm hearing
SIM card.
Right.
Did AD, did you just compare President Trump and Fox to like David and Saul? Is that what I heard? Did you say that he was listening to Fox to soothe his spirit the way that Saul called for David to play for him so he could soothe his spirit? Is that what you just said?
Stressed him out, and then he became his main stressor. Right.
That whole thing was crazy.
That's funny. Oh,
I got to think about that one.
Right. Oh, all right. So real quick, pause for the cause. This is
passion for public righteousness has got folks killed. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Ask Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, indeed. So two things. First up, make sure you join our community. Text brothers to 84576. Text brothers to 84576. Legacy World is being built. It's on the way. Those that are part of the text community will get to partake in it first and get an opportunity to see it. It's going to be a marketing community, virtual world. It's pretty dope. I'm building upon it. So make sure you text brothers to 84576 to be a part. You'll be the first partakers, but you have to listen. When you text brothers to 84576, it's going to allow you to complete your sign up. I'm going to need your email address. Your email. Yes, that thing. Your email address. So once you get that, because Legacy World will only be available to those on a computer. Yes, a computer. So make sure you text brothers to 84576. It's going to ask for your email once you complete sign up, and you'll have an opportunity to see it. I will probably be shooting that out next week. Speaking of next week, the brothers, Pastor Mick already knows, he's already aware. The other brothers, we will be off for spring break next week. So there'll be 1 week of no brothers. So don't forget about us. I will be shooting out text messages for podcasts and stuff like that, so you don't forget about us. Yeah. So for 1 week, we'll be off for spring break, and we'll be back the following week. So
that's good.
Programming note, please be aware of that. And
gird yourself accordingly.
Right. Right. And continue to share. You can share our broadcast. Check out the podcast, stuff you might have missed, because I'm sure if you're new here, there's some other episodes way back that you've not listened to.
Yeah.
So,
and if you're an OG, don't go fall in love with somebody else. Right. Don't do
right.
Leave the room for your 9 o'clock. Don't go get you another 9 o'clock. I'm visiting.
Let me say
I'm out of town and I'm visiting church. I'm a member at Solomon Temple. Don't try to get me.
Right.
I'm passing down there in Georgia.
If you have Amazon Music, if you have an Alexa in your house,
yes, indeed.
All you got to do is say, Alexa, play the Buzz of Legacy podcast, and it will play it right over your speakers.
Look at that.
Trust me. It'll do it.
Look at that. Oh, let's see. I'm well assured. Who's going? Who's going to the Hamptons?
We want to the Hamptons.
Not this time, my brother. Not this time.
I'm going to Hampton Street.
Right.
That count. I'm going to Hampton Street.
I'm going to Idaho. Actually, I'm going to that for a little while.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. So my last question or statement or topic. What can we do to unite around issues that we all believe in?
All. That's your key. That's why you emphasize all.
All, yes.
That's
all and never.
The key word in that whole
think
phrase.
There's any issues? At least, okay. All right, Dwayne. I knew you were gonna start, but listen, is there any issues that we get at least a 90%?
I got a little Uzi over here for you, Dwayne.
What about? Because I've always say term limits. Most people believe in term limits. Term limits. All right, everybody in the audience, if you believe in term limits, put up a 1. If you don't,
term limits.
Put up a 2.
I believe in term limits. I think
everybody watch. If you've never said nothing on this broadcast, if you're watching on a replay, put up a 1 and 2.
If you watch
put up a 1, if you with it, put up a 2. If you're like, nah, Chief, I don't believe it. I believe they should be there forever. Forever.
Let me do this.
Forever. All right. So I'm gonna throw that out there. All this advice.
What she said.
All right. Mama Corey in the building. Yes, indeed. She says yes. So put up a 1 if you with it. Put up a 2 if you're not. All right. T-Bull.
Yeah, but I'm a believer in term limits. I think that's one of the things. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, all of your social media handles used to say Bulls fan, but I swear, I don't think I ever seen you was Tampa Bay in Atlanta.
Me saying 1. Awesome.
Let's move on.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
We like. Listen. When people. Okay, so let me throw this right here. We lack unity. There will never be 100% of us on anything, even as Black folks. Listen, there's never be. We can come up with 5 things. I doubt all of us will just 100% believe in us here. 4. I believe you can bring folks together, and even us folks, skin folk, kin folks. I believe when we speak unity, everyone, we lack the unity. We never gonna totally come together. It's never, even all white people, they're not all together. They get upset. There's one issue, we like with the election, we wanted Trump out. We all, a lot of us got behind it, unified for that issue. Get him out. We ain't want him, then we splinter off. We can come together as one under an issue, for the most part, but a full unification, He said, I don't understand the question, so I can't vote. Wait, I did I just identify one of the 4 issues? All right, let me ask this though. Should there 100% of all people all over the world won't agree on interested, right? Richard, yes indeed.
I mean,
felony should voting be a right? And what I mean by that is, even if you commit a crime, a felonious act, should your right to vote be taken away? Felonious.
Yeah.
Felonious.
That's the word of the day. Today's word is felonious.
Yeah, I do.
You said should be taken away?
Yeah.
Wow.
I disagree.
Right. I do too. I disagree. What about you, Pastor?
What's the question?
Should a person with felonies in their background not
use their right to vote?
Should they look? You mean permanently?
Yeah, anytime. If I just committed it, long as I'm not. So I'll say, as long as I'm not in prison, should I lose my right?
I think so.
No.
Awesome.
I know it.
Okay, so why?
So let me ask you this, Terry. Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
So, God, let me create a situation. Somebody rapes and beats somebody extremely close to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
They lose their ability to carry a gun. They lose their ability, but do they still live in a society that you live in? Do that society still dictate their life? Should they still have a say in their life, even if it's behind bars?
Mm.
Or what if your wife was in labor with TJ, right? Mm-hmm. And you hit somebody by accident on the way to the hospital that if you would have stopped, your wife and your son might not live. So you call the ambulance. Hey, this happened at this place. I'm not running. I'm taking my wife to the hospital. But they charge you with the felony for the vehicular manslaughter. Do you think your right to vote should be taken away because of that situation?
But that's a unique situation. The question, it doesn't matter to me whether you are guilty of murder or anything. If you've served your time and you are now back in society and you're supposed to be a positive contributor to society, why wouldn't you be allowed to vote?
Right.
If it was enough, if you've served your time, if you have if you made penance for your crime and you are now back out here as a citizen, your past should not prevent you from moving forward.
Right.
That's Bible.
Right. Definitely. Yeah, I definitely feel like your voting right, your right to vote should never be taken away. You know,
that's like saying because you did time in prison, you can't be hired at a job.
Right.
That's what's going on now, ain't it?
Right.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that you know
that's wrong.
If you have paid the price, if you've served your time, if you paid the price, you know, for your crime, people may measure whether or not they feel like you've paid a full price,
right?
You know, equitable price. But if the justice system has released you, and you are now rejoining society, you should be able to rejoin society with the ability to impact legislation.
Right. And I mean, I get you. Yeah, There's nonviolent felonies, but I believe any felony.
That's what I mean.
I believe any.
But what I'm saying is, if it's enough for them to let you out of prison,
right,
you should be able to vote.
Right.
Now, do I want you keeping my children in childcare? No.
Right. No. Exactly.
We ain't babysitting nothing.
Well, it still depends. What you go to jail for?
There are morality issues that you may have. You understand? But you can vote. You should be able to vote. Yes. You should be able to exercise.
I got to pay taxes.
Your freedom to vote.
I got to pay taxes.
Absolutely.
I mean, but if we have, okay. So go ahead. Here's my question: If there is an issue with morality outside once you are released from prison,
okay,
that's personal.
Right. That's
not legislated. How you personally feel about someone has no bearing on their ability to vote. That's how you personally feel.
If I cheat on my wife, I could stay in office. People may not want me in the next term. I've not broken the law.
Child molesters, you have to register.
Right.
And you can do a search. So I know where you are.
Right.
You understand? So you have to live life like that. Mm-hmm. But as long as all of that is out there, your ability to vote does not make or break me, but it does make or break my agenda.
Right.
Absolutely.
When it comes to voting, look, this is the way it cut and dry, like the simplistic approach. If there's 4 people on this panel and we all have votes, right? Then we start creating laws that, hey, if you do this, you can't vote. Basically, what we do is we strengthen our political clout or capital, if you will.
Right. You all need to realize that taking away a felon's right to vote impacts us because we're the minority. Yeah. It helps folks who don't look like us. Right. And that's the problem that we have. Everybody is fighting for another chance, not a second chance, another chance. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. If you taken my vote away because I committed a crime and now I have served my time, I've given, and now I'm supposed to be a contributor to society in a positive manner. Right. That's not another chance. So now you're contradicting even what the scripture says. Right. You're telling me that I cannot be forgiven.
Right. Well, that too. Because I found out that you can be a felon and run for president. So how's that work? So like if it passed, the voting is a right. I believe it's as an American you have a right. You have every right to vote. It is not a privilege. It is a right. So definitely can't take it. Some are slapped on the wrist. Oh yeah, definitely, Ms. Smith. We know the disparity in our justice system. that has been going on forever. So and that's systematic as well. So if a felon can lose his right to vote, then the more folks I lock up that don't believe the same things I believe, that
we have a problem with too many of us getting felons put on them for improper reasons. Just so that they can't be a positive contributor to society.
Yes,
so now miss me with that.
Right. Yes, indeed. I remember an initiative Obama was pushing to get rid of the box, get rid of the felony box, not checking. I know, like, even on I think some federal jobs, getting rid of the box. So it's not like such a stigmatism, because it hovers over you forever. And you could have made a bad choice, a very bad one, when you were 18,
And now, but it doesn't matter. You could have made a bad choice at 47 and served 2 years.
Right.
You understand? Exactly. The bottom line is, I can't determine whether or not you've learned your lesson. Time will.
Right.
I cannot put you in a permanent prison of not being a vocal member of society and being able to exercise your right to because the thing is, who's to say that there won't be legislation created that hurts me even more as an ex-felon, as a felon. We're saying once a felon, always a felon. You're saying once a sinner, always a sinner.
Right.
I just don't know how. I don't know how we can comfortably move forward with that type of mentality. That's the issue that I have. It speaks again that if your child goes to the corner store and steals something, you're gonna keep them locked up in their room forever and they can never go to the store again? Or are you gonna make sure they learn a lesson so that the next time they go in the store, they know not to touch what doesn't belong to them?
Right.
I mean, this is like basic stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
It's so simple to the point where the fact that we have to have this conversation shows you how divided or how one group look at certain things. Like the reality of this is, as long as you are a functioning member of society, it should mean that you're voting.
And listen, I don't care if you don't work another day in your life. You can sit at home and collect welfare. You still have a right to vote. What I'm saying is that's not for me to decide, and it should not be for the government to decide. I think everyone who is out here, if you got to pay rent, you should be able to vote.
Yeah,
if you got to pay a mortgage, you should be able to vote.
Yes, indeed. I appreciate you sharing, Terry. Like, in the minority in this. But I mean, so, like, do you feel like that because they committed the crime, they shouldn't have the right, or like, what's your main stance? Because there's others out there I've saw say that they feel like felons should lose their right to vote. So how do you feel? Like, what's your thought on it?
I'm saying you can lose many benefits. Right. There's certain jobs you can't have, certain places you shouldn't be able to go, that kind of thing, because of the temptation, right, to commit that crime again. Those are things that can be, those are blockages. Those are bumpers, life bumpers that can be set up, right, to mitigate the risk. But what I'm saying is, who are you hurting by having the ability to vote, casting a ballot? In what way could that ever be a crime? In what way could that ever negatively impact society, your right to vote? That's what I'm saying.
I got you. I want to see what Terry's thought was, the process of, why he feels like people that commit felonies.
Well, I mean, to you guys' point from earlier, I mean,
I got to jump, y'all. Love y'all. I got to get to a meeting.
All right. If you're convicted of a felony, so maybe I jumped the gun and misspoke, but because I know V made a comment about it, there are non-violent felonies that you can get, in trouble for. So maybe I jumped the gun, but I just feel like if you have been convicted of a violent felony, I think that you should lose your right to vote. That's if it's a violent felony.
What if Officer Lucky was the reason you in jail, and now you lose your right to vote, knowing what you know about Officer Lucky? How do you feel?
Why you mentioned that man's name to me? Because we still don't know.
Because we had to show you the reality of the system that you're saying take the vote away because you're convicted.
Yeah, Definitely.
I'm nuts. Yeah.
You know, because unfortunately, it's like you can't split hairs. You know, like with every law, you can't
You
split
can't have
hairs.
it. Yeah, you
So,
can't have it both ways.
and I mean, but for me though, even Jeffrey Dahmer, if he had gotten out, you know, if he did that, if he had a time and he
Yeah.
got out at 80,
Yeah.
he served his time.
He did, right?
Yeah, he did. They killed him in jail.
Okay.
They took him out.
Just make sure he don't get out. You know,
no, they took him out. But he would have. I believe he should have his right to vote. I mean, I know, like, it's you know, the system is the problem. It is, but we have to be vigilant in voting. And I know people don't believe in it, but it's the one power that we do have. We have voting, and we have putting people in office that will make change. And I don't believe every candidate is corrupt. I don't believe every candidate is bad. You know, I believe some have a heart to do good, who have, you know, to push through, to pursue. I do believe, unfortunately, I do believe there are some compromises that you're going to make. He's not going to buy nobody else, right? I do believe there are probably some compromises you make. You know, how deep they go, I don't know. You know, we assume that they're the worst. You know, that you have to make some of the worst immoral decisions. All right, Mark, appreciate you. Some of the worst moral decisions, but I don't believe.
I think everybody starts with a heart, a good heart, and then they end up upon being in that community, in that atmosphere. I think after a while it turns. It starts from a good heart, and then because you have to conform in some cases,
right?
And kind of put your morale back.
I hope. My hope is
that
it's not all, you know, everyone doesn't have to, like,
right. I agree.
They can find a way to navigate through without compromising so much.
Yeah.
But I do believe that it's possible not to compromise. Let me say that. I don't think that every politician is that way. What I honestly think happens is either you go there with all these right intentions and you get nothing done, because at every turn it's like, hey, that's not how we do it here, bro. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you got to go through them cats over there. Oh, you ain't got the money for it because you can't come through this door. Right. And then you get the ones that, you know, man, I don't even like chicken wings like that. But I guess if I got to go to Magic to get these chicken wings, I'm gonna get these chicken wings. I mean, it is what it is. I think with some people, it's absolutely a heart issue, and their true colors come out. And then I think you have people who have genuine intentions. They just you're not when you stand for something. All the things that stand against you, they're not letting you at the table. And even if you're at the table, you're going to have a hard time. So,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't shed, if Terry wants to consider me a bad person, I can't just change his mind. He has to change it for himself. So you get labeled regardless, and you just have to move forward and work above it. You know what I'm saying? Because if all of us allowed someone's opinion to be our fact, you know, we wouldn't be where we are. And that's the truth.
That's the double truth.
Right. Rules don't apply to everyone evenly. But we can only do what we can do. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit and that's the purpose of the show, like to tell you that there are ways to get out of it. First is mentally, of course, we know spiritually, but then you just do what you have to do to move forward. You know what I'm saying? To navigate, know the rules, like know how the game is played and do what you have to do.
Well, it's funny that y'all make those comments, and I'm gonna shut my mouth and mute my mic after I say this. But you said know the rules. Here's the thing.
Super truth.
The system where it comes in for me at, it's what creates the rules. Right. And I know we've all seen the video of the college coach with all his athletes on the football field, and he's looking at them, and he was like, "Hey, if you had both parents, take 5 yards, move 5 yards forward. If you don't have a job while you're an athlete, take 5 steps forward." I get it. So I'm just saying that there's a system That system creates the rules that we're talking about.
I get it. So, but we've overcome a lot of that.
So, and then this is what I'm saying. The question earlier was, can we unify at least on 90% of the things? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Does it happen often? No.
Right.
It's a leadership thing. We got to find ways to engage with people outside of our circles, not just outside of our race. Because if you look back to the 60s, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, they weren't having coffee together. They weren't boys. They weren't chopping it up. They weren't having no brother of legacy type. But they were still fighting the same fight, and they understood that. They understood that they had lanes. Stokely Carmichael and Dr. King, they're not sitting down having. Stokely over there was like, hey, y'all can give that peaceful ninja what he asking for, or we gonna burn this MF down. Right. They want the same people. They didn't have the same values, but they value the same thing. And that's where we have to be. We have to get to the point where, okay, this isn't about Baptist, Pentecostal, Hebrew, Israelite, sovereign citizen, atheist, black. This is about black people in this arena. And until that becomes our focus, I don't care how prevalent of a star you are in this right, and how poignant of a pastor you are in that right. If we can't come together on the base simplicities of who we are and what we're fighting for, then it's going to continue to look like it's looked outside of the 60s.
I got you. So Ms. Smith said, some people's opinions does matter. Think about housing, jobs, etc. What I say to that is, I can't do nothing about that. They don't want this blackface in your house. They don't want this blackface at your job. There's nothing I can do about that. I can only create my own opportunities. And then she said the rules are not applied to everyone. Some people break the rules. Yeah, no doubt. We talked about that with TV. Some folks leave for money contracts. They bounce and then they come back. They get a cameo back on their own show, on their old show, and they get the new job. But some of us, we bounce over money. We get blackballed. I get it. It happens. My thing is, you have to be persistent. You have to persevere, and you can't sit and wallow because of things aren't working the way you want it to work. You have to press forward. And I mean, and I say that so we you create opportunities. Come on. I mean, I don't even want to say that term. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I hate that term because they ruined it.
Yeah.
But you can't sit and wallow though. That's why you got to work in the system and figure out how to change things. That's my thing. Like I will never be a proponent of just accepting what things are, because a lot of people just accept what things are and they sit and wallow and complain. I ain't with that. That's why I think
it takes both.
Yeah.
To be fair, if you only complain, you're part of the problem.
Right.
If you only soldier wrong, you're part of the problem. It takes a little bit of both. Because
you see the problem and you address it, you deal with it, and then you create opportunity. Most of the black businesses, the patents that black people have filed were when we were oppressed the most. And we was like, yo, we got to create our own. I got to create my own. I got to push on. I got to create something different, a new answer. My answer is the work for the kingdom. I only look for God to reward me. The system is set up to fail me. I'm resilient, period. I agree. I agree with the first statement. I agree with the second. Set up to fail me. I guess it's my mindset. I try not to think like that.
That's as far as a biblical answer, it's absolutely correct.
Right.
I mean, because Jesus even makes it simple. He was like, either you my sibling or your daddy's a devil. I mean, there's no we don't want to say that because that's a mean thing to say.
Yeah.
But that's why Jesus emphasized being I'm from heaven. My Father sent me. If you expect anything in this world system to be right, then yeah, you might be smoking that good. I ain't talking about no Reggie. You smoking jet fuel. Something because this world, this system.
Come on, man.
The system is set to operate by the principles of this system.
I appreciate you, bro.
I mean, there's no way around it. I don't care how good we can make it sound or whatever. The system is operated by the prince of the power of the air. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, so Miss Smith says for my podcast people, so they know what I'm responding to. Said, if you are successful in the system, you sell your soul. When you find your kingdom purpose, God will reward. Men reward with ulterior motives. Can I be successful and still be in the kingdom of God?
Or can you be Donald Trump and don't know the first thing about God?
Yeah, but I'm saying because my thing is, and we're gonna go because this is gonna be a whole new topic.
This is a whole podcast, right? I'm really, she's been dying to get on. She's like, hey, get me on.
Oh, so if why is it and I'm gonna put the Steve Harveys, the sex. It's always seemed like the successful Black people, and I'm gonna say successful Black people. Maybe it's my world or what I'm around. The successful Black people, if they're really successful, they're part of the Illuminati. Why success can't be equated with hard work? And what I mean by success, I'm talking more financial, talking about more, being seen more and not just seen to be doing, but seen because of the work I'm doing. I'm creating either TV shows, I've created a product, so I'm getting seen because of the greatness that I've created. And I've been, and that's my term of success. Money, kind of like a notoriety, based on the work. Say I'm here, we're blowing up, and now we have 1 million people watching, and we got money flooding in. You know what I'm saying? Doing the work. That's what I mean by success. Why can't it just be God blessing me? What's done in the dark is being brought to the light. You feel what I'm saying?
I do 100% agree and hear what you're saying, but just keep this in mind as well. Satan even tempted Jesus with things.
Yeah.
When he was,
but I'm not falling for it.
But it doesn't look. See, but we're talking about you, who we know the insides and out. We got a pretty good idea of your track record and how you act in certain situations. We got an idea. We still don't know you 100%.
No, of course.
But let's talk about how many successful rich people that you know that don't exude anything positive, but they're still super successful and they still will remain that even after doing something wrong in the system.
Yeah, but my thing is we just assume. We assume.
Okay, we can assume, but let's talk about Steve Harvey since you bring up Steve Harvey's name. When did you?
Sorry, sorry. Dwayne, go ahead. Not you.
No, I was like, when did Steve start talking the talk that he talks now?
Oh, it was like halfway through, I think.
But he had a whole nother tone before, right?
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. Then
he got here, and then he gave the appearance. I'm just saying from the vision test. But look at the Donald Trumps. Look at the Jay-Z. I mean, let's be for real. Jay-Z's super successful. He went from selling crack. He went from selling crack to owning sports teams, right?
Right.
But how many people did Jay-Z serve along the way?
I got you.
I'm just saying. So I don't think. I think we have to understand that the God of this world rewards too. God, the Creator, Jehovah isn't the only rewarder. But the difference is his principles are immutable. It doesn't matter who you are, what you represent, who you believe in. If you work a Christian principle, you're gonna get the result of that principle. And that's the way God is. However, when you're being rewarded outwardly, I don't think it's necessarily you doing good work or your work ethic. It may be, but then again, it may not be. And the thing is, I know several brothers who work extremely hard and don't have anything. Like if you alone got paid off of your worth and what you were worth right now, Facebook couldn't afford you.
Right.
Like if the effort that you put in Right. If that was okay, let this illustrate what you're supposed to have.
Right.
Then most of the people who talk to you on a daily basis, they couldn't afford your time.
Right.
If it was based on your work all the time. And the only thing I'm saying here, I'm not saying don't work hard. I'm just saying what you have is not always a result of how hard you work, because I know people who work harder than most and have less than almost all.
Right. I got you. So yeah, I can't rock with that statement. Not with you. This last one from Ms. Smith. The financial success is the result of serving mammon. So I can't give and it be given to me, pressed down, shaken together, and run it over.
I think it's a sometimes. I think that's a statement you can't make a superlative out of. You can't put an always or never on a statement like that.
Yeah. So all right, we're gonna get out of here. So, we love you guys. We appreciate you rocking with us. Thank you for hanging and Ms. Smith, I appreciate you. I just, when we're going back and forth, I always like to, whoever I'm going back and forth with, I appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with us, hanging with us. And if stay connected, text brothers to 84576. Text brothers to 84576. We will be back tomorrow. It's tomorrow Friday, Freestyle Friday. We're gonna lighten it up. It's gonna be some fun. We're gonna be playing our patented trademark game.
One gotta go.
One gotta go. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Go ahead.
Look, I ain't gonna do it. I was gonna take a screenshot. This is gonna be the first slide, but I ain't gonna do that. I don't want to know the answer.
Yeah.
I might be gone.
Give it away. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much, Ms. Smith. We appreciate you. Patricia, thank you. Love you too as well. And you have a great weekend as well, Kalinda. And just remember, programming note, next week we won't be here. But I will be shooting up some texts.
I should have shot you my Cash App AD for birthday weekend.
Oh yeah, birthday weekend.
Yeah. So
my brother Terry, so be a blessing. Go see him. Facebook.
Maybe later.
And hook a brother up. Huh? You said what?
Said maybe later. Oh, and if I could listen, if you guys didn't catch last Sunday's episode of Knucklehead Chronicles, man, please go check that out. That was a very emotional episode that I did with my daughters this past Sunday.
Right.
So if you know of an absent or a non-custodial parent, and that was the episode for them, because I think about halfway through I had everybody crying before it was over. So it was a good episode. Y'all go check it out.
Emotional trigger warning. Yeah, all right, guys. Yeah,
trigger warning.
So we appreciate you. We look forward to seeing you guys
tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the week and some change.
All right, guys. Take care. I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another. Good morning.